happened.
The first question I see just made me laugh. After all this time, how many times a month do you make love?
What's up, guys? Welcome back to this fabulous YouTube channel. Surprisingly, you guys enjoyed asking us questions. Surprisingly, we asked giving bad advice. And surprisingly, we're here doing a part 2. So, with that being said, start the montage. No, I don't know. Just go through it. I honestly haven't looked at the questions, guys.
He hasn't.
I'm excited to answer. I hope you guys enjoyed the part 1. If you guys haven't seen part 1 of relationship advice questions or was it life advice, go ahead and check it out. I'm pretty sure you guys seen me clipping the hell out of that. So yeah, you guys asked some questions last week. We didn't get a chance to respond to all of them, so we're gonna go ahead and respond to them and react to them. So that's what we're doing on this beautiful Friday. And we also have a different setup. I'm sitting up, so I feel comfy.
All right.
All right. So question number 1, guys. Let's go ahead and start this thing real quick. And I have some questions as well that someone sent that I thought was kind of funny. So.
Oh my god. So there's a lot more because last time we filmed, we literally filmed right after we asked. So we only there was definitely responses, but there's a lot more. So we're not going to get to all of them even in this video.
So maybe it'll be an ongoing thing. Let us know, guys.
Yeah. Okay.
Love you. Love that question.
Okay. He likes me, but it's going slow. What should I do?
He likes you, but it's going slow. I think there's a conversation to be had. I think that you might have to tell him what your expectations are, because uncommunicated expectations are the worst relationship killers. So,
ooh, that's a good one.
I feel like you guys have to talk and discuss.
Uncommunicated expectations are the worst relationship killers. That's a good one. Where'd you get that?
I think you guys you should talk to him about it if you're serious about it. And if you're afraid of what he's gonna say, then there's chances you're gonna have to take. But I feel like, communicate and just say, hey man, I'm willing to go at your pace, but I have to understand where we're going, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if you guys have the same plan, the same idea. So that's my take.
Yeah, I like that. I just think you said it the best way you could say it. I mean, truly, I just feel like we get so wrapped up in this idea of what's gonna happen if we just tell people what we want, and we're scared of losing something but really fucking lose it then. You know what I mean? Because if that person can't actually ultimately give you what you want and need, then you're doing yourself a disservice by being afraid of asking, because ultimately it's not going to make you happy, and that's really just coming back to you don't feel maybe you're worthy or something of what you do want.
Yeah. And if you're afraid to lose a person, then you're just not ready.
Yeah, because ultimately if that person is about you, they're going to be about you.
Yeah, they're going to change.
And story time, Carlos did that with me. He told me what's up. he told me what's up.
I need another stool.
For the coffee? Yeah, that'd be nice. It was so big.
Cool. So now, question number 2.
Okay. What's with ghosting? Everything's going fine, and then he just ghosts me.
I'm so glad that I missed dating
life.
I feel like that's a
you didn't miss that. You ghosted people.
No, but people nowadays ghost because they want to have a story. Almost how I would go on dates just to have a story. I feel like now people ghost to tell people that they ghosted. I feel like a lot of times, I feel like that's what is it, a Gen Z thing?
Is it? I don't know, because I'm not Gen Z.
I don't know, but I think that maybe ghosting, I think if someone's going to ghost you, it's automatic. Just take the L. Don't ask them why. Don't be like, why are you ghosting me? Don't do that. That's.
But I guess the question is, if everything is going fine, why would they just ghost you? I guess the answer
saying,
is everything wasn't going fine, and it doesn't have to do with you.
And if he comes back once in a while or whatever, then it's not worth it. You don't want that type of relationship.
Yeah, assuming you don't want something like that.
But yeah, I don't know what's going on, but I feel like it depends on what. I mean, it also
When
depends.
okay, what about like when you've ghosted someone? Because you've done that, right?
Yeah, because I'm not interested in them, so it's just
That's
kind of
really
like,
what it
or
is.
I'm interested in late nights, 2 o'clock.
So like
Right?
it's
Like,
like it's like I want to use this person for what I need out of them, but I don't want to put
effort into it, yeah.
So
And
it's
that's
like,
what usually it's
or
both ways,
and
right?
then maybe what happens is you might meet somebody that does spark more of an interest, and then you kind
You're not
of
gonna
naturally
ghost
ghost the other person because you don't need that from them at the moment.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I think what that is like somebody not wanting to just say to you, "Hey, I'm not that interested," or I have something going on in my life, and therefore I can't really pursue anything right now. Like
They're not ready.
It's kind of like I don't know. What do you think about ghosting? I think it's such a cowardly.
It is. It's stupid. It's
Stupid
like
thing. Like you could. It doesn't have to be a long drawn out thing. You could just tell somebody,
hey,
at
This
this
is what's
point,
going on.
I can't pursue this, and this is why.
But some people like to chase. I think some people like to feel like that, like, oh, this girl's coming after me, this guy's coming after me, to feel something good about themselves. And I feel like that a lot of times that's what it is more of, like, oh, I feel wanted. So, you know, if you have time, then I don't know. I suggest you, if someone's ghosting you, just be like, all right, peace out. I'll ghost you harder. Ghost harder, guys. Hashtag ghost harder. Ghost them. Be like, nah, bro. Don't even give them a time
Nah,
of
bro.
day. Just ghost them. Like, just block them. That's it. And then you don't ever out of sight, out of mind. So, you know, your mind is stronger than what you think. And these people, you could survive without them. What about the pull and push type woman? Should I leave her or keep playing that game?
The pull and push.
I think the girl who kind of leads you on and then leaves you behind.
And then like leaves you hanging. Like,
yeah,
oh, I
I
want
think-
you, but no, give me space.
And girls could do that a lot easier than guys. But
Really?
yeah, because guys are simps. I think guys a lot of times, especially if the girl's hot, you're probably gonna be like, well, I gotta just like, gosh, she's so hot. I guess I gotta go.
I guess I just have to deal with her antics.
Yeah, people deal with crazy girls all the time. But I feel like it depends on. If you're gonna play the game, play the game. Don't think this is wife material. That's what I think.
Yeah.
Like if it's a pull and pull, then pull and pull, and then you do the same thing. But don't. I mean, you know, don't put your eggs in that basket. Like I always say, like I don't think you have to be serious about her if she's not serious about you. And then if it ever gets to the point where you guys both and you feel like you guys are sharing the same interest in terms of what you guys want for one another, and give to one another, then go for it. But pull and pull, go ahead and pull and pull.
Yeah, I think it's just a sign of emotional immaturity, and maybe a little bit of a lack of interest. They might be using you to fulfill some like attention that they need in the moment or whatever. But if someone is emotionally mature and really is interested in you, I don't think they're gonna behave that way.
Yeah. And if you want to be that, then go ahead and do that with her. But yeah, no pushing.
Yeah, if you don't want something serious, then maybe just don't take it seriously.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Like just enjoy when she's pulling
Yeah.
and go find someone
when
else
you're
to
pushing.
enjoy when she's pushing. So
But yeah, don't you know? And not all relationships have to be
super serious.
a serious relationship. So you know, like
Sometimes
it's all
it's
good.
like just
a
have
good
fun.
learning. This is a good one. How to be confident on the first date with a girl that probably has many guys trying. So
Oh, just okay. First of all, you have to believe that a lot of girls want you too, my man. Like, dude, just because a girl has a lot of guys trying doesn't mean that you don't have value. You know what I mean? Like, you have to believe that you have value, and there are a lot of women that want to be with you. You know what I
how do
mean?
you know
Because
that there's a lot of guys trying too?
I think people make an assumption because especially if a girl has a lot going for her, the truth of the matter is probably a lot of guys are trying. Do you know what I mean? That doesn't mean that she gives people the time of day. If she's even willing to go out on a date with you,
Yeah.
unless she's a really terrible human being that just wants to use you for something, like, which they're out there, but then, you know, that means that she's interested in something about you, right? Like, so don't take that lightly. Like, have some confidence that you also have something to bring to the table. And if you're feeling like you're not good enough for somebody, then I think work on that first. Do you know what I mean? Because, like, why? Why would you not be of equal value to that girl that you're thinking has a lot of guys going after her? And if you do believe that, then why are you even worried about feeling confident in the first place?
Yeah, and don't try. I feel like when you try, I think if you try to
Just
like
be yourself.
alpha someone or like try to like, yeah, you have to be yourself in those situations because I think girls are really, they'll see through that. And I think at the end of the day, if you try to be something you're not and then you don't get what you want, you're gonna question, like you're gonna be like, man, I should have just been myself. At the end of the day, it probably would have worked out better. So I feel like, don't try, don't do something, don't act the way that you're not normally, and I think it'll be fine. And if she doesn't like you, then forget about it. But I mean,
I think it's like when we're
show
younger.
her your bank account, take her to a
Like-
good dinner.
I think it's like something like when we're younger, we take these things so seriously.
Mhm.
Like the idea of being rejected.
Bro, I picked
or-
this girl up in a Prius.
Lifestyles. As a matter of fact, this is a brand new one from yesterday. Ew. Don't sleep on the Prius. The man gets
I know what that feels like, so I don't want to like lessen
Yeah.
that feeling. And especially when you really like, you're feeling like you really want to find your life partner. Maybe you're getting a little bit older and you're like, I really want to have a family, or I just want that life partner that I see other people have. And it's like almost you start to get this like desperation
Yeah.
type thing. I don't know where I'm going with this. I'm rambling. Never mind.
Guys,
I'm just
honestly-
saying not everything is so serious.
Yeah.
Like always, if you need to take time to work on yourself so that you feel like you have value
Worthy, yeah.
and worthy, then do that before you start dating. And then otherwise just don't take it so seriously, because it's like not the end of the world if something doesn't work out with one person. Because no matter how beautiful and funny and smart and successful and kind and loving or whatever the girl is, there's another girl that has
Yeah,
all
and
those
listen,
qualities.
if it does work out with you like trying to impress her all the time, then it's gonna get exhausting, and the relationship's gonna be hard for you because you're like, damn, I put the stakes so high of something I'm not. And
Yeah,
so
Carlos
you just don't,
picked me up in a Prius, not that
and I
I
had
ever
a flat
cared.
tire, bro. I had a flat
And-
tire. I literally had a flat. I was like, bro, after this date, my tire might be flat. And I was like, whatever, fuck, AAA.
No, but
Look. How do you know how
Wait, I wanna
serious
see.
a guy is when they only want to text these days and not call? Bro, that I love that question because I calling is so much better than texting. I don't know how people build relationships via text or like, even FaceTime. I feel like that it's so crazy to me. But I feel like
why FaceTime?
FaceTime is so weird, bro.
Because you have to feel like you're a little more on.
No, because FaceTime is just, it's a weird concept for me.
I
Like
hate
every
FaceTiming.
time someone
I was
FaceTime me,
dating someone before
Yeah.
that always wanted to FaceTime me, and I was just like, bro, this is so annoying.
No, me too. Like there were some girls that would FaceTime me all the time that I lost out of my roster because they were trying to FaceTime me all the time. And I'm like, bro, I don't want to FaceTime.
I lost out of my roster.
I was like, I'll go wherever. Like, I'll take a drive. Like it's all good. Like, we don't have to FaceTime. And they're like, let's just FaceTime. I'm like, dude. And then for me, I'm paranoid. So I'm like, you're probably married. You probably have a boyfriend.
Wait, if they want to FaceTime?
Yeah, for me, like I always get.
That's so
I wish
weird.
to
That's
go
like the
there.
opposite, right?
I wish to go there. They're probably gonna FaceTime because they always want to do it at nighttime too. I'm like, bro, first off, I'm not trying to FaceTime anyone at night. Second of all, like I don't like why at nighttime.
Okay, you need to go to therapy and figure out your shit, because that's the
I
weirdest
just
take
didn't.
on
I
how
just didn't. I just
FaceTime.
hated FaceTime.
I just don't
so-
like FaceTime because honestly, like I do feel like I have to be a little more on. And when you're just talking to someone where you don't have to see their face, sometimes I feel like you can be almost a little more vulnerable. Or at least for me, maybe that's my own issue. But like I'm not thinking about what does my hair look like or what is whatever, and I could just talk to you. I could just like be
On the phone?
myself. Yeah.
Yeah, on the
Like
phone is
we
easy,
like Carlos
easy,
and I would
easy
talk
work.
to each other on the phone.
Yeah.
What was the question? What was the question? Like, oh, how to know if they're serious about
How do you know
it?
if a guy's serious?
No, dude, but that's the thing is like this generation, like
It's
it's
different.
different. You know what I mean? So I just feel like you can't really base it on that. I would say, how often does he reach out to you? Does he make effort in seeing you in person?
That's the key. If you have to be like a scheduled one-on-one interpersonal.
Carlos literally
100%.
lived an hour away from me, and every single day since the day we met, he came to see me. Every single day since the day we met. And this guy was
In my
relentless.
Prius.
In his
If I had
Prius,
any other car, I wouldn't go
he,
to the gas
every
mileage.
day he made that effort. He drove an hour, and then he would, a lot of times he would stay with me because for me, like, he's always had non-traditional jobs. He worked for himself. At the time I had, a corporate job, and I, wasn't gonna what is it?
Transfer
Not
buses. I'm gonna transfer buses.
I didn't want to commute all the way from 2 hours away,
Yeah,
because in
yeah.
traffic it's 2 hours.
It's wild.
So he would drive an hour to come see me at night. He would stay the night and then drive back to his own place in the morning. And so you did that every day until eventually we lived together. I mean, sometimes I would obviously go see him, especially on the weekends and stuff. It's not like I wasn't putting effort, but I mean, this was the man put the effort.
That was a sex
Do you know what
act.
I'm saying? I'm sure that was motivating.
No, but for sure, I think yeah, you have to have some type of
But
like.
some guys, even if they love sex, will not make that effort.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
call
saying?
those guys. Why do men think 5 minutes into a date that they will be able to smash at some point?
Wait, what?
Why do guys?
Is that a
think
guy or a
that's
girl? That's a girl?
Yeah.
Why do guys 5 minutes into a date? I think because probably.
Maybe you're leading them on, girl.
Oh, is that her experience? Like they just think they can.
Maybe they want to
Smash?
smash. Let them think what they want. At the end of the day, if you
Yeah,
don't
like
wanna
who
smash,
cares
it
what they
don't
think?
matter.
The
Like,
point
it's
is that you
flattering,
can say
I guess,
no.
But if they're too aggressive, call 911. But
Is it really 5 minutes into a date? Like, are you being
I think
like
you're being a troll.
facetious? Like you're.
I just wanted to throw that out. This was we might not use this.
Any tips for building a business while keeping a healthy relationship?
Have balance. You have to have balance. I think that's key, dude. Balance is key because at the end of the day, if you're going to be in a relationship while building a business, you still have to prioritize someone else's emotions and feelings. That's why a lot of people, when they start a business, they're single. I was, and it worked out great. But I feel like once you start getting in this relationship and you have someone have someone else that you have to acknowledge, and you have to have a good work-life balance.
It's my kind of question is like what stage of the relationship, because
Yeah, we need context. You guys have to add context.
Yeah,
like, hi,
like-
my name is Jared. I'm 25
I know
years
it's
old.
hard in that little thing, in that little box to add context, but because if you're just in a new relationship, it's a little different. If you guys have been together for a while, it's a little different. Like, you and I, a little bit into the relationship, it was like, let's work together on this thing in terms of like, let's support each other. So you kind of have to be with someone, I think, that's going to be understanding too, and like, don't completely neglect the person, but hopefully you're with somebody who also
Understands.
supports
Yeah.
you. You know what I mean? And supports you in the sense that this is your passion, this is something that means a lot to you, and that is going to take a lot of your time. And they have to be kind of okay with that, I think.
Yeah, I think you have to communicate with them a lot too, because
Yeah,
Just
that
a lot,
I
'cause
love
it's-
you, that,
Yeah.
I'm not going to be able to do A, B, and C, perhaps, like whatever, but, let's do this, some compromise. But ultimately, I think you need to consider the person and do your best to have balance. But
Yeah.
when you're really building a new business, I mean, a lot of your energy and focus has to be towards that. And I just think
No,
you
and
need
it-
to be with a partner that's understanding, honestly.
But also you have to understand that you're playing a part in a relationship too. It can't be one way. Like, that's very selfish. Like, I feel like that's part. Like, if you feel like you don't have enough bandwidth for someone, and just I don't know, it's hard. But I feel like if it's a new relationship, maybe just reconsider being in a relationship. If it's an old relationship, then yeah, you have to highly communicate with someone, and you have to like give some time to your partner 100%. So work, I know that work sometimes seems like you have to be on 24 hours a day, 24/7, but in reality, there could be something that you could do for your partner that shows them
I
that
think,
you
yeah,
care,
I think
and
like
that's
you
it.
guys
Just
should
give them your
have
time.
check-ins with each other.
Yeah.
Like, check-in in terms of like, how are you doing? How are you feeling? Is there something that you feel like
And
you're
take the day
needing.
off. Take the day off. Like take the day off with your partner. I feel like a lot of times people think like they have this misconception of like being an entrepreneur or whatever, working so much is like a healthy thing or a good thing. Honestly, it could drive you crazy. So like, I feel like you should take a couple days off or like
Yeah,
with
I
your
think-
partner.
I
You know,
think-
like just
yeah.
have a good balance. Have a good relationship with your work and have a good relationship with your significant other. You know, they're both as equally as important. So.
Yeah. It depends on the business though, right? Like think about, let's say I opened up a coffee shop or something, and like
Yeah, but you
I
still have
to be
hours.
there.
You still have coffee. Every business has working hours. You know, like a lot of times.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think you can always make time. I think the important thing is like make sure the communication is solid, and check in with each other. And
And that's it.
is true love really 50% your brain and 50% your heart? Like, is it?
Yeah.
Wait, like,
Yeah, I
what does
think
that
so.
mean? Like logic versus your gut or
Yeah.
something?
Yeah. 100%.
Your heart.
I would say yes because here's why. Because obviously your heart's going to be in it because you love the person, and your mind is going to be a wild card. Like I feel like sometimes your mind could take you to crazy places, and you might think about certain things or feel certain ways that your mind is allowing you to think about. And I feel like at the end of the day, whatever you feel in your heart and your gut is going to kind of navigate you back to like the path of like, it's all good. That's just my mind working, doing what it does to allow me to recognize and remember how much I love this person. So I feel like it is 50-50, and I think that that's a wonderful question, and I like how you broke that down. Because yeah, I feel like sometimes we tend to listen too much to our minds, and sometimes that could just take us to a place where we don't want to be. And you have to listen to your gut. I feel because your gut is always going to be instinctually right, and you know if your gut's telling you one thing, prioritize your gut, but your heart never lies either.
I'm dating a married girl.
Mm.
And then every time we have sex, she ignores me for 2 to 3 weeks, but then she gets normal again. Why?
I
Honey,
think that
honey,
she
honey.
loves you a lot, and she's trying to give you space.
You're so... Stop it. Stop it.
Bro, she's married.
Married.
Listen,
She probably feels
there's no
guilty
such-
and shame. She's probably feeling a lot of emotions and doesn't know how to deal
No,
with
she's
it.
probably busy with her husband doing things that married couples do. I feel like if you're dealing with a married woman, I've been in this position.
Always Carlos with story time.
This was a long, long time ago. I was so young. I was very young. But listen, man. I'd get out of the situation. It's always scary. You don't know you never know what a husband's capable of doing. You never know, like there's a difference between like, a angry husband that finds out that his wife's cheating on him because, he's probably working hard and taking care of the family. I don't know what the hell how they're living their life. But at the end of the day, I feel like it's if she's ignoring you, bro, she's busy. You don't have to ask why. And if you're happy tapping a married woman, then just be happy that you're doing it at least once a month and you're chill. Don't think too much about it. Like have fun. You have a fun story, and be careful because, like I said, you never know what this guy or her husband could be capable of doing. They get crazy, bro. Imagine someone messing with your girl. I feel like that's when.
Well, someone is messing with his girl. It's literally the husband.
That's what I'm saying. And if the husband finds out that he's messing with her, then he's probably gonna be like, bro, I'm gonna. And a lot of guys don't blame the women; they blame the other guy, which is ridiculous. I feel like,
Yeah.
just be careful, bro. Be careful. And these guys are crazy. I've had friends too who like had partners, girlfriends, who were in relationships with other men, and those guys were super possessive and crazy. And they're like, it's kind of dangerous.
Yeah, this is like another one where it's like we need context. Like,
Yeah.
what's going on? Why is she dating you if she's married?
And is she dating you, or are you just hooking up? Because there's is she just coming over and knock and be like, yo, let's get the deed done, or I mean, you guys are
are you
going
guys
on
having
date
like
dates.
a love relationship, or is it just about sex?
Because it seems like if she's ghosting you, she might be busy, bro.
She might be busy in her relationship with her husband.
She might try to build a
Or
family.
like as a woman, I can only speak from my perspective, right? Like anything that we're saying, we're speaking from our own like life perspective, right? Like so it's gonna be a little biased in that way. But for me, if I was doing that, I can imagine the shame spiral that I'd be going through.
She probably doesn't, because she's already having. It seems
No,
like
no,
this.
no. I'm saying, like, let's say I'm in a loveless marriage. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Let's just say I'm in a loveless marriage. Like, I don't know, maybe, like, whatever. I know that I'm not really happy, but maybe for whatever circumstance, I can't. It's not such an easy choice for me to leave. Maybe I can't. Maybe it's not a feasible thing. Maybe, there's some other circumstance, right? Like
money or something.
There's something going on that I can't leave, but I know I'm not in love. Just still the act of being like deceitful, lying, going behind someone's back, the fact that I could get caught doing like this shame spiral that I think I'd be going on would be so intense that I think it kind of makes sense that she kind of disappears for a little bit, because it's like, dude, like, and then she probably gets to a point where, damn, I'm lonely, like I don't know, you know what I mean? I could imagine that scenario in my head,
Yeah, it's crazy. That's a crazy woman's perspective.
I don't
for
know.
me, I think she's just.
I really would love it. You guys write in and give us more perspective on this one. Like, what is actually going on here?
But yeah, man, just have fun.
That's always, at the end of the day, that's always the advice.
Bro,
just have fun.
As a guy, you gave a woman's perspective. As a guy in that thing, just be careful. As a dude, you have to be careful, because like I said, you never know how crazy the other guy is.
As anybody, like
it's almost like getting into a street fight, like you never know what someone else is gonna bring out, so you have to kind of know your role.
Oh my god, this one is so easy. Have you felt like you were also attracted to someone else?
No, I don't have eyes for anyone.
Yeah, of course. Dude, of course you're gonna be attracted to other people.
You have to.
It's so unrealistic to say that you're never gonna be attracted to other people.
Yeah, it gets on my nerves when I see guys who are in relationships and they don't even look at other women that are like beautiful and walking down the street. And, you're in the car.
No, be respectful.
No. As a guy, like, okay, me and a gentleman are in the car, right? And we're just hanging out. We're driving. We see
You
a
and a
girl.
gentleman,
We're
yeah.
like, damn.
Oh, she's beautiful.
And then or you're like, what the fuck, dude? You don't catcall. You're just talking to your boy. And you're like, damn, what the fudge?
What the fudge?
And then the guy just like, I'm married.
I'm
Are you
married.
crazy? Are you crazy? And you're like, bro, what are you doing? I mean, those guys are red flags. Those guys are the ones you have to be careful about, because those are the ones who are like, if I touch that subject, I might have to go do something.
All the way,
So I just feel like.
Okay, so but I'll give you my perspective, and I know that not all women are like this. Like, yeah, I can see
Someone that you like but not sexually attracted to.
No, like, I mean, I can see somebody and I'm like, oh, they're really attractive. Like, that man is really attractive. For me, I'm not even gonna say as a woman, but for me, it's like, I don't think about, ooh, I wanna him. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think like that. Like, in the same way I think kind of guys do.
Yeah.
Like,
that's all guys think about when they see a girl.
It's just like, oh my word. What? No, I don't do that. Like, it's really hard for me to even like sexualize people when I am in a relationship, just because I feel like I'm really like, I don't know, tunnel vision on the person I'm with, but that doesn't mean I don't find people attractive. Okay, do you stay if someone cheated and realized their mistake, or is it healthy to stay and move on? Well, then you have to answer that for yourself. Did we answer this one already? No. I think that you have to answer that for yourself, because I know of situations where that there was infidelity in the relationship with that couple, and they were able to work their stuff out and stay together, and they're in a healthy relationship to this day. I know for me and my personal boundaries and my personal kind of trust things, that if Carlos cheated, I don't know that I'd be able to move past it or not. You know what I mean? So just so you know. No,
I feel like, no, for me too, like, I feel like, Yeah, I feel like it depends on your relationship, but
Depends on your capacity to forgive.
it depends, and also you
and-
have to think long term too. Like, are you gonna like hold that against the person?
Yeah, like if you are gonna stay, don't be
You have to be very
resentful.
mature.
Yeah, like you have to be willing to forgive that person and not be like ruminating about something. And it might take time, but like don't punish that person forever. If they realize their mistake and they're putting the effort to repair their relationship with you and they're doing their best, do not punish that person for the rest of their life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's not fair.
Yeah, if they're honest and you could tell that they're honest, because at the end of the day, I feel like that brings a big, like, you know, if the person's honest and you could tell, like, okay, they're very sorry about it, they're admitted to everything and they want to work things out, maybe if you could do it, but I think as a guy's perspective, it'd be kind of hard because you're always kind of like, you know, you don't want to think like that, like, damn, some guy just smashed my girl. So if I feel like I wouldn't be able to let that go for sure. Or I would just use that excuse to act up. So I just feel like, you know, for a guy, it's a little bit harder than girls. I think girls are more compassionate.
You think it's harder for a guy to get past it?
Yeah.
Oh, it's so interesting. I don't know.
You guys let me know in the comments. Is it harder to get past a girl? Like, I think it'd be
I
always like in the back of your mind.
think
Like,
in our
damn.
society, I think women have been conditioned to believe that it's like men are just gonna do stuff like that because you're like biologically wired to do stuff like that. But I just think that's such a cop out. But yeah, I think maybe in that way, there's a lot of women that will look past it because they've been socially conditioned to believe that that's just a reality.
And there's a lot of girls. A lot of girls nowadays are pushing that agenda too. They're like, I don't care what you do, put money on the table. Let me fucking get dolled up, and you could go do whatever you want.
Yeah, if that works for them. It sounds. What do you guys do for anniversaries?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Anniversaries are for guys who cheat, bro. No, anniversaries for me have always
Everything
been like,
goes any like
No,
form of romance. You're like that's for people who cheat.
No. Celebrating one day specifically that I could give to you is kind of like, I feel like that's dumb. Like, it's like, oh, let me be super nice, or let me take her to dinner today. I feel like it should be special all the time.
Do you make it special for me all the time?
Yeah, you went to go get tacos yesterday.
Thank you, baby. You're so
Yeah,
sweet.
but I feel like, yeah, I think sometimes.
We actually just don't know when our anniversary is, to be honest, guys. Like, we don't know like when we made it official. Like, I feel like I don't have a date in my head. We have like a general idea, like the month, but like there's not like a date, so like we don't really have a time to celebrate. I actually like never have been into anniversaries really, but I think like in general, we just kind of are a little bit non-traditional in that way.
100%.
But I totally agree with what you're saying is like we should include romance in our life you know, frequently and not just reserve it for one day. But I love celebrating stuff.
Yeah, you do.
When I think about it, like I love celebrating people. Like we talk about this with birthdays. He doesn't really like them. Like it always for him, holidays, birthdays, it always goes back to why am I celebrating this thing on one day? And I don't look at it like that. It's not about like that you ignore people the rest of the year. It's about, this is like something specifically that we're getting together and we're honoring in a focused way for this moment, and it could be fun, and it's like, why do we have to talk about?
I think for me it's a sheep mentality.
Why am I gonna
go to Valentine's Day to dinner when it's fully packed with people
I don't like that either.
all trying to impress their girls? I don't want to do that. You know, so it's like I feel like just the energy.
It's like not being. I get that because I'm the same way. Like both me and you are the black sheeps.
Yeah,
we're black sheep.
That's what
world.
it is. I'm like, bro, I don't want to be in this situation where everyone.
I think what it is like you don't want to feel forced to do something.
Yeah, no, for sure.
I just think it's fun. Like there are just things that are fun to do. It doesn't have to be some big agenda.
I would celebrate Valentine's Day maybe at the end of February. Yeah, like to me, I think that's what it is. I just don't want to be. I don't want to follow. I don't want to go and I don't want to like fall into the traps of the Matrix.
Do you know what it is? I think probably for me too is for me, like going back to a childhood, my mom always made a really like big deal around holidays and birthdays. So I think that's why it's special to me.
Yeah, for sure.
But with that being said, I never saw my parents celebrate anniversaries, so maybe that's why I don't care. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
My parents always celebrated their anniversaries.
They're in love with somebody that's not from the same country as them, and their parents are against that. That sucks.
Okay, go ahead.
It's hard to speak about this because, you know, like that, like we've been lucky that that hasn't been our experience. Like our parents haven't, you know, put that type of pressure on us to be with a certain type of person.
Yeah.
So I think it's hard because it's like, especially when you love your parents, right? Like you don't want to disappoint them, and you also want it. I'm sure it's important to get their blessing, right?
100%.
And with some cultures, it's absolutely necessary, right?
Mhm.
Like you have to get their blessing, right? So I think it's a really hard situation. But I think the best thing you can do is like how in love. Like how in love. Like, is this gonna be your person? Are you gonna marry this person? Are you gonna, you know, this is a person that you wanna spend your life with? I think the best thing you can do is set yourself up to be as independent as possible so that if your parents decide not to support you, that you are gonna be okay. I think you have to be honest. Right? Like, if this is really going to be your person, I think you have to be honest and as hard as it might be, like, be willing to accept the consequence that they may not accept it and they may not be supportive, and that might damage your relationship with your parents. But sometimes I think that we fear things and we just don't give people enough credit because maybe they have expressed, like, they're not going to support something like that, but maybe when they actually see their child happy and doing that, and it may not be right away, but they might change their mind. Now, some people are just, they're really like stubborn and they don't. But I just think, like, you know, that stems from like cultural stuff, maybe trauma, like other stuff, and you have to just decide if you want to break that cycle or not. Like if you love someone, you love them.
Yeah.
And that's a beautiful thing, you know?
To break the curse, yeah, 100%.
It's beautiful when you love someone. Like when you love somebody, that's a beautiful
thing. No, also
thing.
to break
and
that cycle of maybe the parents, you know, of having that mentality as well. That maybe you could be the one who's like.
Yeah, it's obviously a cultural thing, and probably stems from like you know, like I said, trauma. But yeah, that's a hard one, guys. I'm sorry you're going through that. I would say just be honest, and when you're ready to be honest, you know, have yourself be in the position where you're going to be okay, you know, with or without their support.
All right, guys, these are going to be two last questions that we have, and these are going to be from this person who has very interesting friends. Carlos, I got two questions for you. You're very open-minded, so I want to ask from a guy's perspective. One, before your relationship, what was the maximum amount of dates you went on before having sex? Whether it was casual or a serious relationship. That all depends on what is that? It all depends on vibe. I think, you know, like, I don't know. In terms of a guy's perspective, I don't know what kind of perspective I could give, like, because all guys are different. There's some guys who will sleep with anything that walks. There's a few guys who have a more, like, a higher standard. So I feel like, I don't know, it also depends on the girl, right? Because at the end of the day, they have to consent to say yes. So I feel like, you know, it's not up to the guy to like be like, oh, I only go on 3 dates and then we have sex.
You could be the type of guy that's like, yeah, 3 dates, if she's not putting out, I'm done.
Yeah, exactly. And I think it all depends on the type of girl that you're going after, you're pursuing. So if you think that...
And what you're looking for. Like, are you just looking for a sex relationship?
Yeah.
Or do you want something more? Because if you want something more, it might be worth waiting.
For me, honestly, I was never the type of guy who would go on the first date and like sleep with someone. I just felt like that was a little bit. It wasn't gross, but I just feel like, you know,
Oh, you're so sweet.
I might have it a couple of times. No, listen. I feel like if you're asking my perspective in terms of what I think about that, like, or I don't know. I just feel like it was never a thing because I felt like you kind of needed to have a different, more of a connection with someone, especially when you're gonna get intimate with them. You don't know how clean someone is. I feel like you have to go on a few dates for sure. Like, to me, that all matters. You know, like.
How clean someone is.
No, also I don't know.
I mean,
Like,
seriously,
there's just some type of,
I
like,
do get grossed
first
out.
one night stands to me were always like, this feels very dirty. You know, like this just doesn't feel like, even when my friends would do it, you're like, bro, you like, it's just something about it. I mean, unless like you are somewhere where the girl is like extremely high, like this is the only time I'm ever gonna get a chance to do this, maybe. But I feel like
I love that. I love that.
For the
Because
most
yeah,
part,
most guys don't care at all.
no, you have to care, guys.
And
You
they
have to.
raw dog it too. Like they just don't give a fuck.
A close guy friend who is a virgin, and he's now 41. I have dyslexia. He used to want to wait for marriage, but now he doesn't and just wants to be laid. If you were him, would you tell the girl you were a virgin, even if it was just a random girl? Laughing out loud, he is so afraid and nervous if he should tell her.
Is this a friend or is this you?
What?
Not you. I'm sad. The person
Oh, the
that
girl?
asked.
No,
that
this
really
girl
a
is
friend?
going ham with questions.
You
Oh.
don't need to tell anybody. You're 41 years old.
No.
Just have sex.
Yeah, as a guy, I feel like, as a gentleman,
You don't
wanna
have
go,
to
you don't
tell
want to go
them.
into the battlefield with a pistol, bro. You want to go with a bazooka. And if you tell a girl that, they might just. I just felt like saying that. I feel like that just sounded cool. I just felt like that sounded cool. Don't tell. There's no need. I mean, unless I feel like there's only one way. If you feel like it's important and you want to respect your virginity, if you like, let's say right now you think you don't care, but if you get to that point and you feel like, okay, actually I do care about my virginity, talk to the person, because you also don't want to give it away if it's special to you, because obviously you're 41, you still have your V card. So if you don't want to swipe that out, it's just maybe talk to her, but don't feel pressured to do it unless you feel it's right. And if you want to wait till marriage, there's nothing wrong with that. Then go ahead and do that. But I feel like if you just want to get laid, you're not going to tell a prostitute you're a virgin. You're just going to go for it, right? He's not going to bang a prostitute, is he? No. Just respect.
If it's a legal place to do it, why not?
No, I feel like the guy friend should just like I wouldn't tell someone if I was.
This is
just,
one
if
of those things, dude. This is one of those things that you build up in your own head so much that you're making it into a bigger deal
Especially
than
as a
like
guy.
other people care about. Like nobody cares. Literally nobody cares.
But
Like
it's-
always ask yourself, who cares? No one. No one cares.
But especially
So
as a
just
guy,
do
it doesn't really matter because there's not going to be any difference between the first and the second time you do it.
Oh, because like with a girl, like
with the
when
girl,
you're
I think
cherry
it's a little bit
bombs.
harder, yeah. But with the
Yeah.
guy, it's literally you put it in. If you last for 5 seconds, you could say, "Damn, you're so hot." Blam, boom, whatever. Go ahead, go a second round, and that's it. It's gone. It's magically gone. There's no mystical like thing that's gonna happen that you're gonna be like, "Wow, my aura has changed." Maybe it is. I don't know. But all I'm saying is like, as a guy, it's just the dipstick, dude. Like, I don't know. I just feel like it's not going to be like a thing where you're going to be like, oh my word, I feel
I
so
just
much
think it's
different. I feel like,
dude, as a guy,
and
though,
she's not going to know.
as a guy or a woman, getting to that age and you haven't had that experience yet, I think you're building it up. You're building it up in your head. It's like now I have shame around it in a way. Do you know what I mean? Like, don't have. First of all, fucking don't.
Yeah.
And if you cared that much to save it, I don't think I think if it's a girl you don't care about, you don't have to tell her. It doesn't matter. If you're in a relationship with a girl and you want to, be honest and open, then yeah.
Or if you want to,
But just don't feel shame.
Yeah, if
The
you
right
wanna-
person's not gonna give a shit.
Yeah, if
They're
you
not
want
gonna
to,
care.
give it to someone special, then just wait for that person and you'll find it. But if you just want to lose it, then go ahead. And I'm telling, it's as a guy, you're just gonna be like, oh, cool, it's in, and then you can like, all right,
It's
cool,
a good mistake.
let's do it again, and then that's it. There's no like, there's no cleanup really. I mean, there is, but it's not gonna be like, it's not. I feel like for a girl, it's a little
I think
different.
I think it's like the first time probably is nerve-wracking, right, for a guy, just because like, are you scared to like perform?
You probably don't know where to hold, like where to put it in.
Yeah, like,
Yeah,
where to
like you
do,
don't like,
like,
oh,
it's
okay, where it's actually
nerve-wracking,
going,
right?
but it's not that hard.
How was it on your first time? Did you know where to put it in?
Yeah, I had to take it down bathroom. No, no. I feel like you never. I mean, it's always gonna be hard. Sometimes you just don't even know where to put it in. It's dark in the room. You're like, wait, where's it at? You know, like it's like you're gonna find it all the time.
Or you just go with a girl that's really experienced and you tell her, I'm a virgin, can you rock my world? And she'll probably be like, yeah, let's go.
Yeah. If this question's real, then hold it if you feel like you need to save it for someone special. If you just want to go have fun, go lose it, don't tell anyone. And that's it. Keep it to yourself. You lost your B card. Congratulations.
And it's not that big of a deal. It's not. You're building it up in your head.
The bigger deal's gonna come after you lose your virginity. You're like, when am I gonna get my next fix, dude? Honestly, so that's you're gonna open up a floodgate that you're not gonna want. You're not gonna want to experience.
We have so much to cut out of this one.
All right, guys. So, you want to do one more?
No, I think we need to wrap it up.
There you guys have it, guys. This is part 2. I guess, this might not even be a part 2. It might just be a thing that we do Fridays. It's fun for us. It's kind of like a podcast, and it's kind of like something that we have fun doing because we like to talk. And I mean,
obviously, these poor people. I wonder if anyone even lasts through one question.
Let us know if you lasted to the end of the video. Drop an emoji or something. We're
Do
gonna try to
something.
condition you guys to like listen to us for long periods of time. Follow us on Instagram if you guys want. Follow us on Instagram by Carlos Murdo, Twice the Mood. If you guys want to ask us more questions, put your best questions down below. Also, I was thinking maybe we could react to like a crazy story that you guys have. Maybe we could read it. Like if you guys want to create like a page essay, sometimes a story we could read it out loud.
Oh,
and
yeah.
react to it. That'd be kind of funny. Like
Yeah.
of a story that you have that's wild. So yeah, it's all about having fun. We're just trying to enjoy your guys' company and following. So. There you guys have it. Enjoy your weekend. It's a weekend for us.
Bye.
Like button, subscribe. Bam. Let's go. See you guys very soon. Let's get 50,000 subs. 50K subs. All right, guys. Hasta luego.
Hasta luego.